York is getting hot. Whew. The last time I shot a video outside, I think, was almost 2 years ago. All right, it is time to chat. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday, Shavua Tov, and let's get into today's video. Shalom, everyone. My name's S, and welcome to my Jewish life. I wasn't expecting my last video to kind of blow up the way it did. And by blowing up, I mean more than my regular 1,000 views. I'm very grateful for that, forever blessed. And I am very fortunate to have so many people want to be a part of my life. And I welcome you and I share whatever I can with you. And I hope anything that I share is beneficial and helpful in a way to your life. But at the same time, because the video kind of exploded, I've been getting a lot of criticism, and I've been getting criticism this entire journey, my entire process, from everyone, all angles of all walks of life. And how I deal with it is this way: everyone is entitled to their own opinions. Everyone has their own way of observing, and I don't criticize anyone for it. I don't take it personal either. I listen to what people have to say, and I make sure that I am in the right mindset to separate my emotions from fact. And I understand what the Torah says, or what my life in other people's eyes should be. People have to understand that going through a conversion, you're still on a journey. And there's no telling when the journey will end or when you're gonna get it all right. I am still learning every day, taking my time, picking up other observances because of my lifestyle, my fiance's lifestyle, and the people and the loved ones around us. We are growing in our observance, and it takes time. I don't want to pick up observances just because someone tells me you have to do it this exact way, or you're just a terrible Jew and a terrible person. That's not why I became Jewish. I didn't become Jewish to have other people dictate and tell me how to live my life. I'm living by the Torah, and I'm observing by what the Torah says, and I'm making sure that I understand each mitzvah and picking up observances as I grow in my Judaism. And this is a forever journey. And I remember my rabbi explaining this to me. You're not gonna get it all right once you come out the mikvah. It's just almost impossible. You have to have life experiences. You have to go out, you have to meet people, you have to go to shul, you have to interact with the people who are actually living this life. And I've been doing that, and because of that, I have picked up many other things organically and naturally. I don't want it to be turned off. I remember I went away for Passover, and I was talking to a woman. She had asked me, how was the process? How was your conversion? And I was like, I loved every bit of it. Like, there were challenging parts, but there were also parts that I was very fond of, appreciative of, and I had a strong community behind me, egging me on, supporting me, and believing in me. And she said it's very refreshing to hear that, because she knows a ton of women who have gone through the process and have been completely turned off by it. So here's my message to, like, Jewish people. Know somebody who's going through the process, or know somebody who just finished their conversion. I'm like, they are still on a journey, as you are. And to be kind and to be respectful of the choices they make once they become Jewish. I know it's hard not to judge someone. It's like, you chose this life, why aren't you doing everything perfect? But we're still human beings. We're human. We're all living in this world that's full of culture, full of different nationalities, full of challenges, and it's very much hard. But at the end of the day, our core beliefs are the same. We believe in the Torah, we believe in Hashem, and we are very much trying to live by what the Torah says. And it's just good to note that when we get criticized, when I get criticized, and I get criticized every day, I get an email talking about the shirt I've worn, or how my hair was this, or how I shouldn't have said this and this was wrong. And honestly, I appreciate it. Please keep it coming. But at the same time, it's funny how people tend to really stress what goes on outward and never really reflect what's going on in their own lives. It's interesting to be able to see that as somebody who didn't grow up Jewish, and now I'm Jewish, so now I understand both sides of it. Although I enjoy sharing my life, I enjoy speaking to you guys, and I will continue to do that. It's challenging. But I just wanted to start the video with that. On to other things. So a lot of things are changing in my life. Obviously, I'm planning a wedding, and I'm going through a few life changes, and it's really waking me up. So I started taking Kallah classes, and I'm still taking it with my conversion class tutor, and she is phenomenal. I want her to teach me for the rest of my life. She's helped me grow in my observances. She's prepared me for many other obstacles, and she will continue to educate me the proper way. She is an observant Orthodox woman, and I truly appreciate and admire all that she's done. If you are in the New York area and you want an Orthodox teacher, and you're converting or you're a Kallah, just shoot me an email and I'll check with her to see if she's taking any more students. With the Kallah class, I just started, so I can't really give a whole video on all that I've learned, but I will say Niddah is one of the most interesting things that I have learned since I became a Kallah. And seeing how powerful the role is as a woman who is in the house, like your role as the wife, as the mother, is the biggest role you're ever going to play ever in life. It's the most important. And the benefits in taking Kallah classes goes beyond just don't touch your husband. It's getting you and your partner on a different level of like a spiritual connection. It's amazing how much power the woman has. And if you aren't a strong woman in your observance, most likely the relationship will weaken. The house, the strength of the home will weaken. And it is up to us. It may seem unfair, it may seem like a lot of pressure is put on the woman, but I almost feel like we're almost built to deal with this kind of stuff. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, and if I'm reading, I always read into things all the time. So I'm taking these classes and I'm seeing, oh my God, everything's pinned on me. Obviously, your husband has his mitzvahs as well. Like, he needs to be davening, he needs to go to shul, he needs to provide, and all these things. When you are in the home learning these things, it really changes your perspective on just how to approach life in general. So I'm excited to continue to share my knowledge with you guys on all that I've learned in my Kallah classes. And because I decided to take Kallah classes, there are some things my husband and I need to be on the same page with that I feel like we're a little bit weak. We're not perfect. You know, we're a little bit scorned. We're in our 30s. We've had many experiences before we met, and many things go on in our lives before we've committed to each other. So now that we're both deciding to take this next step, start a family, build a home, I decided to make sure we start taking premarital counseling on top of it. And I know there's a lot of negative connotations with it. Like, why are you taking premarital counseling? Like, what's wrong with you guys? Why are you even getting married if you know? But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's great. I think him and I communicate great. But there are certain topics that we need to navigate together. Like, what we're going to exactly do about our children, because there's non-Jewish family. What exactly are we going to do about how where we're going to live, and what, like, there's just everyday conversations that you think you might not even need to talk about, but because we're trying to live observantly and we're trying to make sure we give our kids the best education possible, we want to make sure that our families are on the same page. It's just a lot of stress on the home, and a lot of it on me. So I decided for us to get professional help to navigate this. And I don't put down premarital counseling at all. We all can use that help. Marriages are difficult. Marriages are stressful, but they are also beautiful, and it's such a wonderful mitzvah to have a life partner. And a lot of people don't even get to take this step in life. So I want to make sure I enter this as confidently as I can. So another thing that's going on is I'm changing careers. Oh, it's so hot. And this was such a, I don't want to say it was like a leap. Like, I just woke up one day and decided that I didn't want to do this anymore. So I work in the industry, the spa industry, where I would have to touch men. And I couldn't really explain this to my workers or my boss, how that was interfering with my observance, and that it didn't matter how much money I made. I was touching somebody who isn't my husband or my partner or my child. I don't know. I felt like I couldn't try to become more observant, and I'm doing this. So I decided to change careers into something where I could use my mind to make money other than my body. And it's been hard. I'm almost like, I'm in my 2 weeks notice period right now, and I'm still like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that I actually am leaving this job. I've been here for 7 years. You know, I'm a licensed esthetician and massage therapist. So like, healing, touching people is my thing. But spiritually, like, in me, it didn't feel like my thing anymore. And I almost feel like I've outgrown it mentally. I'm way better at speaking to people. And I decided to head toward a path with that. That's not interfering with my faith, that's not interfering with my marriage. And it's almost like, imagine saying this to your employer. I can no longer work for you because I can't touch men. Like, it sounds like, I'm thinking to how I would react to this if I wasn't Jewish. I would be like, that's so down. Like, you can't even touch a man? That's insane. But I have to stick to my guns here. Like, I have to follow my faith. And I don't want to touch a man who's not my father or my brother or my husband. I just don't. And I don't want to make money off of it that way. So to some people, this may be extreme, or just a observance that they don't pick up. For me, it makes sense for me to not go that route. And, you know, my spouse agrees. So I decided to change careers, and that was the hardest thing I've had to do this year, was to wake up and finally realize, all right, this is no longer for you. It no longer aligns with you. And now that I'm trying to become more observant and pick up more observances, I'm realizing that it's the little things that I've overlooked that are going to have the biggest impact on my marriage. So, no more touchy. I think having that respect for your partner is very important. All of this has come to light due to me taking my Kallah classes. Like, in theory, of course it makes sense, but it's like, I should have learned this since I was a girl. Like, no, there's a mitzvah to learn this right now. Like, you're excited and you're ready to take your life to the next level, and you're taking a lot of people with you, like my parents, or even my grandmother who is 92 years old, who has known me since I was born. She explained to me, she's like, you know what, I've seen you go through several different stages in your life, and I must say right now is the stage I love the most. She notices how different I speak, how different I dress, how more mature I am in my thinking and the way I approach people. She's like, I always knew you had it in you, but to actually see it in front of me is truly inspiring. I love that you're a Jewish woman now. And for my grandmother to say that, really, like, it almost brought me to tears. It's almost like you get a new, like, self-image. You get a new self-image and self-respect. Like, I've learned to respect myself from a different angle, different aspect, different level. And it's growing and growing. Yes, I make mistakes and I still do weird things sometimes. For the most part, I think I'm level-headed and I've become more analytical, and I'm just trying to keep my emotions out of it and look at the fact of the situation instead of being impulsive and making a decision right then and there. So today's video was just all about how impactful being a Kallah is and how powerful it is. And I wish you get there. I hope every woman, every Jewish woman gets there, finds their chatan and their forever person, because not only will it change you'll impact everyone around you. So I am excited to announce that I will be having my first in-person meetup, and this is the first time I'm doing this, and I hope it's not the last. But I will be hosting my first candle making class here in New York on June 5th, 2023. So if you're in the tri-state area or anywhere, if you want to travel to come see me, I will be hosting a candle making class. We will be having wine. It'll most likely be dairy. We will be having wine, some dairy snacks, and making candles and talking Judaism. And it's a great way for us as women to connect, to meet, for us to meet converts and non-converts who are on a journey, and to just connect with each other. Mainly because when I started my conversion, I truly felt like I was alone. You could check actually maybe I will link my video up, and you guys can see how I was a totally different mindset. I felt like I was alone. I felt like I didn't have anyone. And now that I've grown this platform, I want to be able to extend that help to whoever needs it, or to whoever wants to develop friendships and not feel so alone. So I will be linking down below. I only have 10 spots. I can only fit that many people in my studio. So I have 10 spots open for these 10 women. The link will be down below. You could sign up down below, prepay, so we could get things signed up. And I'm going to host the candle making meetup once a month if this goes well. If you guys want me to do it more, I will do it more. If not, then we'll just keep it to whoever can attend. But I think this is a great opportunity for all of us, even me. I would love to meet everyone who's been following me. I would love to connect with all the women who are on a journey and really just give my advice, give my tips, give my resources as well, and be your friend. So check the link down below. You guys can sign up there, and I'm excited to host my meetup. It's truly a mitzvah. It's a blessing to connect people, and I want to make sure that I connect as many people as possible. That's my goal. So if you aren't subscribed to my channel, subscribe down below. I will be taking you guys on my entire Kallah journey and beyond. So thank you guys for staying to the end of the video. Sign up down below for my first meetup and candle making class, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Shalom.